Welcome to the Millennial Body Image Project, where we dive into the unique and messy body image journey that continues to shape our generation.
And this is the Millennial Body Image Project Holiday Edition. We're here to help support your relationship with food and body image throughout the holidays. So sit tight as we take you through this series where you'll learn how to reframe your mindset, set boundaries, and ensure you can enjoy the holiday season without letting body image or food issues disqualify you from the joy and connection that this time of the year brings.
Because your body is not a problem to be fixed. Today's episode is actually part of a series that we are kicking off for this holiday season. And really what these are is little segments on things that are happening during the holiday season that we feel like you might want some support in, but not necessarily need a full hour-long episode about. And we've chose some things that we feel like are hot ticket things that people want support on. And so they're bite-sized for you to listen so that you can listen to them on the go and just get almost like the TLDR kind of version of this topic and what you can do about it. And so we're coming in with today is about setting holiday boundaries for a peaceful season. We have some stuff about taking out the stress for holiday fitness routines, some stuff around say this, don't say that kind of things for diet conversation with family members and beyond and friends and all the things. Like we have something like that. We also have some stuff for families coming through. We have one for social media. We also have some that are specific for ADHD during this season too, because we feel like that subset of people can really feel a lot right now and be dealing with a lot. And so we wanted to create something that's special just for if you identify with having ADHD or you just want to have that information. It's going to be cool. I'm excited about it. And sometimes we're talking about various different things. What's special about these shorties is that we still have full-length episodes coming your way.
Yeah.
And so this is really a way, and some of these are going to be over on Patreon. Some of them are going to be here on the main feed, but it's all available for you to be able to access at various different levels and various different degrees based off of the things that you really want to have support on. And I'm really excited about this. And I hope that you guys are too. And the whole concept is to provide you guys with topics and some tools and actionable things that you can do to really help you feel like your best and feel supported throughout the holiday season, because there has never been a time when the holiday season feels really, really difficult. And we are in the era of a lot of things right now. And we felt when we were creating this that it would be really supportive and helpful for you if we made these little shorts. So we hope you enjoy them and listen to the first one.
This is what the holidays are all about.
Yep.
Okay.
Laughing with your friends.
Today, we're going to talk about setting holiday boundaries for a peaceful season so you can protect your peace and prioritize what's important. If you stay to the end and listen to the bloopers,
you'll know why I'm laughing and I can't contain myself. Yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about prioritizing what's important to you for this holiday season. And ultimately, like what Dana was saying, is protecting your own peace. And I think for the holiday, like I can't think of anything more important to talk about as we lead into the first holiday. Like the first big holiday right now is Thanksgiving coming up this week. And I think for me, the way that I've always looked at how do I set boundaries? Yeah, there's boundaries and what I'm willing to talk about. There's boundaries with all different types of stuff. And I guess in a way, if I had $1 for every time I heard set boundaries, and I don't know what that means, but I'm looking at this is I think about it from the perspective of what is my capacity right now? And what is my capacity for this season and for the holiday period of time? What do I want to invest my time into and what can I not invest my time into? And where I think also getting like a check on the pulse a little bit about my overall energy levels for right now and what I can and can't do, and maybe saying no to some things, even though maybe there are things you've done for years and years. And finally this season, you're like, I just don't want to. I just don't want to do that. I think that this is a really great time to check in on all of those things What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, because with the holidays, there's family stuff, there's friend stuff that you want to do, maybe there's community stuff that you want to do, and then there's your like nuclear family or whatever is going on there. And so I think it's really important to figure out not only what's really important to you, but thinking about, I guess, even your values around the holiday season. And then in a couple of episodes, we're talking about relieving social media pressure, right? And that social media can add another dynamic to this whole thing of feeling like you're supposed to be keeping up with the Joneses and your house has to be a Christmas explosion and other stuff like that. We're more talking about the different things that are going on in and outside of the home here. But you really want to think about, how do I want to feel this holiday season and match that with your capacity? Because you might say, I want to feel from the inside out like a Christmas explosion. And I want my house to be an explosion of holidays. And I want to feel inside like an explosion of holidays and all of the joy and everything. And then
I kind of love that.
love that. But we also have to be realistic and practical about it, because what is that going to cost time and resource wise? What is that going to cost financially? And do you have the capacity to really go 100% on something like that? Because for a lot of people around the holidays, there's so much that is going on that we don't actually have the capacity to do something like that. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't really get into the holiday spirit and however you want to embody or feel that this year. But we want you to try and figure out what do you want, what is your capacity, and what is realistic for you, and how can you protect your peace? Because there are going to be maybe a bunch of different events or things going on that you feel like you have to go to, things that you really would like to go to, and then things that are like, oh my gosh, if I miss this, it's not going to feel like the holiday season. So I think it's helpful to categorize things into those different areas. And a lot of boundaries is figuring out, what am I going to say no to? Christina talked about. And that can feel really uncomfortable, especially around the holidays, because I think there's a lot of familial expectations and stuff going on. And you might feel like I'm letting somebody down if I don't go to their event. Or for Christina, she talks about this a lot throughout this whole series that we're doing, is how am I going to make this season as magical as possible for my kids? And do I feel like I'm letting my kids down if I don't do certain things? And so we want to help you through all that today.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I was thinking about too, about saying no to certain things, I think a nice little switcheroo and reframe can be, what am I saying yes to? When I say no to something, I'm actually saying yes to something else, right? If I'm saying no to that friend's party that you like haven't seen in a while and you've done it before, but you don't really know anyone there, but it would be nice to go, but maybe you don't really feel like going, or you've had a hard week at work or whatever, you're actually saying yes to yourself. You know, you're saying yes to cozying up at home. You're saying yes to ordering delicious takeout and hanging out and watching a cute little holiday movie. You're doing all of those things too. And I think sometimes we think of saying no means that we're giving up something. But I actually think sometimes a great way of looking at it is, no, I'm saying yes to something else. And that yes can actually be really impactful for me. It's been a really hard week and I'm saying yes to hanging out at home and watching Little Rascals with my kids. Or I'm saying yes to having an everything shower and relaxing and chilling and doing my little collagen face masks that I'm going to sleep in all night. And that's fantastic. There's a lot of different things that you could be saying yes to. And I think sometimes when we say no, we think that means that we're giving up everything, but actually we're saying yes to something else. And I think that can be a really nice way of looking at it, because then it feels a little bit more, I know I really do want to do that other thing and I can't do everything and I'm okay with missing this thing this time. And one of my favorite, talk about millennial, peak millennial here. One of my favorite quotes is from the Olsen twins, where they said, no is a full sentence. And they grew up in their home with their parents telling them that. And their sister talked about it, like how her older sisters would talk about how no is a full sentence. And I think that's actually true. You could just say, oh man, I'd really love to be able to make it this year. Unfortunately, I have other things going on and I'm not going to be able to make it. Or just RSVP no.
Yeah.
and stuff away. And I think that's like a good way of doing it too. And I think, I don't know. I think for some reason, reframing it for that, like that for me actually feels a lot easier than just saying no. Cause it almost feels everyone's counting on me. They might not care that much. Like it might not be that big of a deal. And then meanwhile, you're showing up for everybody and doing all this stuff and burning yourself out to the ground. And meanwhile, they maybe would have totally understood and been cool about it and said, you know what, had you come, I probably wouldn't have been able to have that much time chatting with you anyways. Why don't we go grab coffee instead? Or maybe we can watch a movie together in a couple weeks and we can hang out after the new year and actually spend quality time together. You never know what's going to happen as a result of it, but it might actually work for everybody in some ways too.
Definitely.
So it's not always, I think there's just an idea like it's selfish and it's not.
Yeah.
You know,
and then
to protect your peace.
Speaking of protecting your peace and bringing this back to food and body image stuff. And if you want more specifically boundaries on what you can say during different conversations, whether it's at holiday parties or it's around your holiday table. We did a whole episode on this last Friday, so a couple days ago, as a bonus episode over on Patreon. And that will be linked down below, as well as a guide that goes along with this of, okay, say this, not that, in response to different things that may be said around your holiday table or at different holiday parties or gatherings or anything. But avoidance can also be a form of a boundary, especially when it comes to food and body stuff. And in the age of Ozempic and all these other things that are going on, if you know that there is a particular gathering of people who are always talking about wanting to lose weight or always talking about body stuff and body checking and always talking about their newest diet or whatever, you don't have to go to that. You really don't. Or you can go armed to the teeth with this little guide that we have for you and then listening to the previous
like
episode.
If it's family and you actually can't go, we have a guide for that.
Yes, we have a guide for that. And there's also avoidance tactics that you can use even when you are at a specific situation, which will give you some leeway and to show the people around you in just a very non-participatory kind of way of, I don't want to be a party to this specific conversation. And you can just take yourself out of it. And that is okay too.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's also another way of you protecting your peace too, right? Because there's your peace with your time, and then there's the peace with your energy, and then there's a peace with your mind. And there's a lot of different ways that you can protect that peace in using various different tactics as well, like Dana was talking about. And I love how you mentioned how avoidance can also be a boundary. And I think that, yes, 100%. Another thing I was thinking about too, and I don't think it's come out yet. It will come out next week after you listen to this. But we also talk about taking the stress out of holiday fitness routines. And in that episode, we talk about prioritizing. What are my non-negotiables? What are my health promoting behaviors that can sometimes slip during the holidays because we're busy and whatever, and there's things going on, and naturally it's okay. It's okay for those things to slip. And also too, you can decide, what are my non-negotiables? What are the things that are my health promoting behaviors that I really want to protect a little bit? And sometimes in order to protect those things, we have to give up something else. Instead of trying to wake up at 3:00 in the morning to hit the gym, which is insane,
please
by the way, it's bonkers before a flight or whatever. The option is to, one, give some leeway for yourself, some grace, which we get into the next episode about that. You'll hear about that in the fitness routines one. But also the other thing can be saying no to certain types of things too. I'm not going to go to the gathering the night before, or I'm not going to do these things so that I can have something at home and do my routine before I do a bunch of bonkers travel for the holidays and whatever. You can also do that too. And I think that's also another way for you to decide, what are my negotiable things that I'm attending that I actually maybe don't have to attend, or I can say no to? And what are the things that I'm protecting? What are the things that I want to protect during this season? And what will help me facilitate protecting those things? What am I saying no to? What do I have to attend? What's negotiable? Where can I compromise? Can I show up for an hour and help my friend set up before the party and have some time with her, and then bounce once everyone comes so you can get home and get a good night's sleep and then be able to do what you need to do for work the next week? Totally, you can do those things. And so I think those are the ways that we can look into, how am I protecting my peace? Can I be a little cookie fairy and drop off cookies for the party, say hi, and then leave? Yes. Yes, I can. And so I think getting a little creative around what that looks like for you and how you can support yourself is ultimately the biggest goal here, because we have this idea when it comes to this season that we must do. And if we're not doing all the things, then we're not capitalizing off of the season. We're not doing everything. We're not creating the magic. We're not enjoying it. And I got to be honest, I don't enjoy anything when I'm burnt out running around with a chicken with my head cut off. I'm just not. But I do enjoy things when I slow down. And to me, and peacefulness is slowed down in my mind. Like when I think of peace, I think of slowed. I think of being more present. I think of not having 1,000 things going on. And I think that's a wonderful way of protecting your peace and deciding, what does peace look like for me this season? It's going to look different from me to somebody else, to your friends, to you. It's different because everyone has different priorities and different things like that. And you're living this season for yourself. And if you have kids, you're also living it for your kids too. But again, listen to that episode where I talk about what's the episode? We just talked about it. Social media influencing stuff. We talk a lot about what that looks like too, from a family perspective, and how you can protect that peace as well. I just think that's something to remember, that your mindset is such an important piece of what makes this season special for you. And you can create what that looks like for yourself. And for your partner, if you're partnered up, and for your family. You and your partner can sit down and talk about, what are the things that we're willing to do? What are the things that we're not willing to do? What would we like to do? And what's negotiable? And here are the things that I really want to prioritize. And we can all work together to make that work. And you can also do that with your friend group too.
Exactly. Yeah. And the point of this whole holiday series is really to equip you with the tools so that you can do that. And so you can have the best time this holiday season in terms of protecting your peace and really curating the season in the way that you want it to be curated to the best of your ability, without all the food and body image and fitness and noise, as much as possible.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. So I would love for you guys to share with us how you're trying to keep the peace this holiday season for yourself. And we would love to hear what you have to say, what you think. You can do that in our Patreon community. You can do that in Instagram. You can do that in comment section. You can leave whatever you want to do. But I would really love to hear in what ways you're trying to set some peace for yourself.
Boundaries.
By the line. Did you start the last one? Because I don't think you did. I started talking about Taylor Swift.
Oh, that's true. How did it just get so dark in here? I have 6 lights on.
I don't know. That's why I'm like, you can't fight City Hall. I can't do this. You should get the lights from underneath here. And I keep saying to him, I go, yeah, maybe if I gave
it's going to make you look like this.
But does anybody care? Here's the thing. How about this, guys? If you're watching this on YouTube and you're seeing it and you're looking at the video and you're thinking, Christina, you do need lights back there, let me know. If no one comments, I'm going to
do what you're doing.
Take that as I'm going to continue living my life.
Okay.
Yeah. So
today we're going to talk about setting holiday boundaries so you can protect your peace and prioritize what's important this holiday season.
I hope don't cut this out. This is absolute gold. You guys, I snorted so loud.
Oh my God. I think we're going to have to start over.
You sound like you're going to.
Okay.
Woo! Oh
we're
my
doing
God.
Great. Oh my God.
You guys, it's a Friday morning and we're having a really good time.
Oh my God. All right. Ready to start over?
No, can't stop laughing. Right. How now, brown cow? The Human Torch was delayed.
If you have been with us since the Break the Diet Cycle days, you'll get that joke.
Oh my God. I'm laughing so hard. I think I just...
Okay.
Okay. I'm tearing
No,
up.
I've been there.